And joining us now, two-time Emmy winner, New York Times best-selling author, and one of the funniest high-energy female comedians of all time, Kathy Griffin. Welcome to the show.
Hi, David, and I'm glad jumping in just after the sentence, and that's what makes it so funny.
Oh, yes. There's no doubt. But, you know, Trish and I saw you in Las Vegas late May, Aces of Comedy at the Mirage, and you were just phenomenal. High energy, so funny. We wrote Trish, I should say, wrote a great review on our website about that. And I also enjoy you so much.
I very much appreciate it. Thank you very much, Trisha.
Oh, hey, it was so easy to write because you are phenomenally funny.
Well, look, let's face it. I mean, these politicians and pop culture figures and, I don't know, my mother, they give me endless material. Endless.
Oh, Kathleen Mary.
Kathleen Mary. All I want is a nice box of wine. Don't make any fuss about me. Yes. In fact, next Saturday, August 9th, when I do my show at the Mirage, I am going to tape it. I'm going to make a CD out of it that will be available sometime before August 27th, called Kathy Griffin Live from Las Vegas. And I'm doing it just in that time period because I am shamelessly trying to get nominated for another Grammy for Best Comedy Album, which I won last year.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you, your nominations are the length of my arm.
Yes. You know, the deal is that if I don't get nominated for awards, they won't let me in the award show.
You might be banned again, huh?
Yeah, because they know I'm there to lovingly observe. And if I happen to see anybody, vomiting in the bathroom or behaving badly in any way, then, of course, I'm going to have to run to Vegas, hit the stage, hit the mic, and tell you guys all about it.
Well, I'll tell you, Kathy, that was something I loved about your show. And looking at other people's comments and reviews as well, it was amazing how you are so contemporary, you are so local as well, which doing a DVD of the Vegas show is going to be perfect because everybody knows Vegas.
Oh, yeah. And Vegas, Vegas is a coat of many colors. So I have been playing Vegas for many years. And, I love talking about, pre-Cirque. It's hard to imagine a world prior to Celine, Canadian songbird. But they tell me that Vegas did exist before Celine. I find it hard to believe, but I was there, so I guess it was real. I always say also Vegas is the greatest people watching in the world. And so after my show, it's going to start to become what I like to call the bewitching hour. So go to my show, enjoy the show, laugh nice and loud because you're all being recorded, and then, maybe get a 5-gallon plastic drink with like a hose as a straw and just stroll leisurely up and down the street when it's 107 degrees and do some people watching. It's totally safe.
Especially when you see those guys from the Ultimate Fighting Championships walking with their big, huge bongs hanging down and pushing their baby carriages, right?
Yeah, of course. Well, I always enjoy a nice strip stroll in Vegas with a family time. And by family time, I mean about 2:42 a.m., because you can tell it was someone's idea to bring the whole family to Vegas, and then someone lied to someone else in their family and said, oh, don't worry, you can go hit the tables and I'll watch the kids. And next thing you know, there's just entire families with strollers walking up and down the strip in Vegas.
So totally true. Now, I do have to ask you this, because we were talking about your life on the D list.
Yeah.
And my husband says, well, wait a minute. Is that referring to her bra, or is that referring to the ABCs of the list of stars?
It's my cup size. I love that.
All right. Well, Joseph, when he was first introducing the D list, he kind of went the D list, and I thought, well, maybe that was more than.
I've got a stutter.
That's why you said double D.
Cup got bigger every time you said it. I love it. Well, I'm obsessed by this notion of Hollywood and pop culture, of people sort of being on lists, and it's a very Hollywood thing to do with agents and publicists, etc. And they have these great expressions like, well, so and so just isn't there yet, or so and so is going through an ebb, not a flow, and all this ridiculousness. And many years ago, the first time I heard the expression, we've all heard A-list, and then I heard the expression about the D-list, and what happened was I was actually watching the Golden Globes one year, and I noticed the way people are seated in the Golden Globes, it's pretty much laid out for you. So closest to the stage, because remember, Golden Globes are film and television.
Yes.
So closest to the stage are big movie stars, but not TV stars. So normally a big TV star would be right up front, but nope, with the Globes, even the TV stars are a little bit on the B list. Then as you get to the back of the room at the Golden Globes, you get people that maybe have smaller roles, albeit stars, but smaller roles in films and television. And then that night I was watching the Golden Globes, and I thought, if I was that room, I'd be in the parking lot. So that's how I came up with the name The D-List. And, you know, it's a joke, but you'd be shocked at how many people in Hollywood take that stuff seriously.
Oh, and that's what makes it hilarious too. I mean, some of the stuff that you're talking about with these reality shows, the Kardashians, and just everything.
Well, let me tell you something. The Kardashians have actually gotten a little real this year for the first time, and that is what I find fascinating about it, because, you know, one of them is just missing. Like, there should just be an Amber Alert for that poor Rob. We don't really know what he's up to. I get uncomfortable when I hear that someone misses Lamar.
Aww.
That can't be a good sign. Like, well, he misses Lamar.
He's going through separation anxiety.
Yeah, I miss Lamar a little. I don't miss Lamar, you know, that much that I can't leave my home. And then, of course, I'm watching Bruce Jenner do exactly whatever it is Bruce is doing.
He's turning into a woman.
It certainly looks like that to me. I mean, he used to be on my Wheaties box, and I don't even recognize him anymore.
That's right. I don't know exactly what's going on with Bruce. And by the way, I am very open about having had the face work myself, so I know some stitches and a scar when I see one. So, you know, no judgment here. But the thing that's amusing to me is that after all these years of bashing the Kardashians, this may be the one season that it actually has some accidental reality, because I think even those nut jobs don't even know what to do with Bruce anymore.
That is so true, and I love the way you called it accidental reality.
Hasn't decided yet what he wants to be, let's just say, be doing the rest of his life.
Are they D-listers?
Well, that's such a funny one, because they're household names, so that would typically sort of make you an A-lister, but, you know, they don't have a skill set, so I guess that would put them on the D-list. But I have a skill set, but I'm not a household name, so I would definitely not
Sure you are.
Category, because that's no fun. I like stand on stage and tell jokes for 2 hours, and they just kind of do selfies and, you know, walk around saying things like, I'm getting my nails done again because I literally did not like that salmon color nail polish, and I literally wanted more pink. You know, that's kind of what they do, is they get their nails done and shop and wear a lot of animal print clothing. Other than that, you know, there's a lot of these shows where we watch these folks and you just go, but how do you pay the rent, though? I just have that one. I know it's a reality show and I'm let into your life, except on my life on the D-list, you knew, like, well, I had to get my butt off the chair and go do stand-up, and that's my job. So I'm gonna give them a D, but, you know, they can buy and sell all of us here.
Well, that's true.
How sad.
But, you know, I kind of look at the D-list as like being in the back of the bus. That's where all the party people are.
Yes, and that's where you can observe quietly. And remember, it's always very important to judge others unfairly. It's a very good way to pass the time. I'll have some Irish Catholic guilt about it later, but at the time, I can't stop myself. And, I mean, look, that's what my show at the Mirage is going to be all about, truly blowing off steam. It's going to be in Vegas, I mean, which exemplifies everything about where you go, that you should say something you're not going to say and do something you're not supposed to do. And so that's what my live shows are. I mean, look, I love doing my television specials. I have done more television specials than any comedian, living or dead. I am in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most televised stand-up specials. But the live experience is something else. I mean, it is truly no holds barred, uncensored. And next Saturday in Vegas, the reason I'm taping it the way I'm taping it is I've put out 2 other CDs, and this one is going to have no breaks at all. So it is going to go up on iTunes and everything else sells online, but it's not going to be broken up into bits. It's not going to have bleeps. Whatever happens, happens, and it'll be available for some bargain basement price. You know, these kids today with their online sales.
Oh, I love it. I love it, and I can hardly wait for it. It's going to be phenomenal because your show is just... I think it was the best find we had in Vegas, let me tell you. It was the best time it went so fast. But I do have to tell you, I was a little disappointed. You kept saying, now remind me to tell you about this, and then you didn't get to it.
Well, look, sometimes I get so excited by, the latest politician that's made a horrible flub, or maybe the latest celebrity that is angry at me personally for a joke I've made, or, if I've gone to some kind of Hollywood event and I want to tell you exactly what someone said in the bathroom. Sometimes there's just so much that even I can't remember it. So I do try to change my material every single show. I did a limited run on Broadway, and I was at the Belasco Theater where they're doing Hedwig right now with Neil Patrick Harris, and I shamelessly named my Broadway show Kathy Griffin Wants a Tony. And number one, I didn't get one.
Oh.
Number two, I made every single show different. So I will say, sometimes when there is a particularly exciting time, like now, when it's an election year, as well as everybody doing their movie interviews, and this person's breaking up, and this person started dating this person. I admit I don't always get to talking smack about everyone. I mean, I almost always get to my mother. Let me just say, my 94-year-old alcoholic mother is an American treasure.
Yes, she is.
She is beloved, and she is a darling. And she, of course, will not be accompanying me to Vegas because she is afraid she's going to get the runs.
Kathy, you got so much, like you said, great material going on, but especially just the other day with John Boehner suing the president. I can't wait to hear what you're going to say about that.
Well, first of all, once again, where do I begin? So we've got this. By the way, you know what? There may be several members of Congress at the show since they're all on vacation.
That's right.
They're always on vacation.
I know the Tea Partiers. Do you think they go to tea parties? Like, if that's their party, I wonder, how much do they take it to the mat so that during their recess they don't have town halls anymore. They actually have tea parties. Because I would like to see that. I would like to see Michelle Bachmann and her, let's just go with husband, Marcus, simply having a ladies' tea party during the recess. And, suing the president is... I'm going to have to actually work to make it funny because it does sound funny, but it really is kind of not what we want you folks to be doing at this time. Well, there are a few other things that are slightly more important. But, yeah, I think we're living through something. Well, I'm a big old lefty, so I'll just confess that right here now. So there go half my ticket sales. But
that's okay because you're on a progressive station.
I know. That's otherwise, I could be just tased in the streets for actually just being a lefty. But I am just amazed at how this president has been targeted, in my opinion, because he's African American. But over and over and over, and things that are happening are so real and they're so serious. So when I lovingly miss the days of a mere Monica Lewinsky mishap, and that's what we all got excited about, and we all got our panties in a bunch, and we thought the world was crumbling. Now, we've got an actual Congress that's denying climate change. They're trying to sue the president. They're going to try to impeach the president. And as a woman and a feminist, the clock has just gone way backwards, way back. So I'm actually hoping that by my show next Saturday in Vegas, I still have the right to vote. I'm hoping maybe one more week with the right to vote. Although if this interview gets in the hand of the Breitbart people, I'm sure that women could actually lose their right to vote by next Saturday. And
it'll be your fault. Hey, I have a question for you. You mentioned that you piss celebrities off a lot. Is there anybody currently mad at you now?
There's always the usual suspects. Oprah, wants nothing to do with me. I've tried to get Gwyneth Paltrow back a couple of times when I've seen her. She's not really having it. I've kind of made up with my frenemy Ryan Seacrest. She and I are getting along pretty well.
Not now.
They're very whimsical, these A-list celebrities. They're very whimsical.
And I read somewhere that you've been banned from interview shows?
Oh, yes. I'm banned from Ellen. I'm banned from Kelly and Michael. I don't know why I still want to call it Regis and Kathy Lee, but...
You're not alone.
But yeah, I do kind of take pride in being banned from certain shows. Although I got back on the David Letterman show. I'm doing the David Letterman show August 20th, and that one took me years to get back on because I was banned for many, many years, and I'm a fan of his. And now I'm very excited because I'm actually going to do it twice before David leaves. So, as they say in Hollywood, it's the ebb and flow. But I, being the cockroach that I am, my philosophy is to just wait them all out. Wait them all out. So if some of the younger starlets, like Demi Lovato, they're upset with me about a joke I made, and then their fans, which are called Lovotics, they flood my Twitter with hate and death threats. I just kind of wait it out. And then the Justin Beliebers get mad at me because I've made a Justin Bieber joke, and the Beliebers come after me. And that's just sort of the new price you pay when you're a comedian. It's getting rough out there, kids.
Well, I have got to tell you, you have got to be the hardest working woman in the world.
Oh, you're a doll. Well, I love it. I mean, I don't know what to do with myself if I'm not doing stand-up, so I cannot wait to hit the mic. I so look forward to every single show, whether it's, the Kennedy Center or, some small performing arts center in Rhode Island. I don't care. I will go wherever people want to laugh.
Well, I will tell you, there is no shortage of laughing, and it is so fresh and so new. I can only imagine every time. I would just want to be, if you did a run of 7 shows, I'd want to be in every one of them. You are phenomenal.
That's what's funny is I honestly don't know exactly what I'm going to say next Saturday at the Mirage. I mean, I will be writing, when I say writing, sort of putting my thoughts together, improvising. I don't write. It's really improvisational, but I'll be writing my act up until, 1 minute till 8.
And see, and that comes across because this is truly your love, and it is so unscripted.
Yeah,
it's phenomenal. That is a talent that is whatever you want to call it that I have never seen in anyone else. Everybody else, you can kind of tell they've got a theme, they've got the punchline here, or yours just it's just like sitting down across the table from my girlfriend and having a convo.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to say, but all those nice things you said before that, can you tell my mom that? Because she still wants me to be a dental hygienist. She thinks there's time for me to get what she calls a real job.
A real job.
With real benefits, damn it.
Yes. Well, which does she like, the red or the white in the box?
She likes both. She's not high and mighty.
Okay.
But every so often she will have $2 Chuck in a glass bottle.
Wow. Okay.
I heard it's gone up to 3.
Holiday.
Kathy, one of my favorite things watching you and Anderson Cooper New Year's Eve, it's just hysterical. What is it like working with Anderson Cooper?
It is such a joy for him. He's got his little job where he just wakes up and models and then does a little news and then models some more and then does a little news and looks in the mirror at himself for a couple of hours. And then once a year he's got to actually show up to work. So, I am so happy that I have been able to really put him on the map, frankly. Take him out of obscurity. And no, I love torturing him. Working with him. And, I have goals in life. I think it's important as Americans that we have goals. And I am sorry to say there's one I haven't achieved. And after 7 years of doing New Year's Eve live on CNN with Anderson Cooper, and last year we did 3.5 hours live, I still haven't gotten him fired. I have to live with that every day of my life.
Now, are you going to do it this year, too?
I think I'm going to do it. We're still in what they call negotiations, which I think what that means is Anderson gets a ton of money, and then I think the negotiation would be like, this year, do I get maybe, like a turkey sandwich on rye? I'm not sure, the high-level negotiations that go on in Team Griffin. But I love doing it. It's like one of my favorite things, and it really is all about keeping him off his game. And the thing that I'm most proud of is that when I started, CNN, of course, like being CNN and not, like a comedy club, would call me and they'd say, they would want to break down the evening, like minute by minute. And, we're talking a 3-hour broadcast. And I would either just lie and say, oh, we're just going to talk about, puppies. And the next year they tried to get, well, generally, what do you think you're going to talk about? And then finally last year they called, and I've beaten them down so much, they actually said, can you just not say the C word?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, it's hysterical. And, it's just...
the bar very low over there for them.
I just love it. Really, I think it's the hit of New Year's Eve, no question about it. You and Anderson Cooper, very, very funny.
Well, and you have changed his life because, after all, he's dreaming about you now.
Yeah, Yeah, he has dreams about me, and I'm excited because I think last year we got our highest ratings ever, and I think we actually have accidentally become a true alternative. I mean, obviously we're never going to get the high ratings of like the really big shows, but we really are definitely a different approach to New Year's than Ryan Seacrest with their gigantic budget and their bells and whistles and their musical performances. Anderson Cooper and I really just stand there on a riser, next to Univision and just freeze and multi-layer and try to keep the party going. And trust me, he does not know what I'm going to say. And by the way, confession, neither do I.
But that's what's so fun about it. That's like the best New Year's Eve party ever.
Well, but it's his nightmare because he's very regimented and he can be very serious, obviously. And he always says that he sweats more with me on New Year's than if he's on assignment in Jalalabad.
It seems like he's a really good sport, though. Is that how you describe him? He's
the best. I love him. We're friends. I actually just sent him a sext a couple of days ago. He's the only man, I don't even sext my boyfriend. He's the only man in my life that I sext. And I was actually hanging out with former NSYNCer, good friend of mine, Lance Bass, and we actually sent Anderson a photo of the two of us. It's like the old Coppertone ad where the girl brings down her bathing suit, a little bit of her butt.
Uh-huh.
So we sent that to Anderson, and there hasn't been a response. And I know that what happens is Anderson will look at a photo like that, immediately get nervous, especially if he's at work, and then usually he kind of takes a few days, probably of some sedatives, and then he'll write LOL 5 days later. I know his process really well by now.
That's hysterical.
Oh, you are hilarious.
I love him because he's come to see me live multiple times, and he is the rare A-lister that actually has a sense of humor. And, a lot of these folks that I make fun of, I really do love, and I'm fans of as well. And I got the greatest compliment the last time I went to see Celine Dion at Caesars, and I went backstage, and I've met her a couple of times, but, I'm always nervous around her because I'm pretty rough on her and her husband, and she's like the perfect person to make fun of because she's so squeaky clean. And so we met backstage, and afterwards, I couldn't believe she said this. We took a picture, and she said, "I want you to keep talking about me in your act because it lets me know I am still hot."
Yes.
I was like, oh, my God, mission accomplished. Consider it done. I'll talk about you forever. Yes. By the way, not that I was going to ask her permission. I'm just saying it was nice that she said it.
Well, and see, when you were saying about how the A-listers hate you, I'm sitting here thinking that means you're relevant. Hello?
It's that's why I'm actually friendly with Don Rickles and Joan Rivers because they are two mentors and idols of mine because they have been through the fire and they've been through the ups and downs. And when I see the way that the celebrities act around them, it's actually very inspirational to me because first of all, they're at that age. Both of them are at such a cool age where they really can say anything. I mean, they're both just at that, look, I've been through everything. I'm going to say anything I want, appropriate or inappropriate. And so I think that's what comedy should be. I mean, I don't think you should go to see a live comedy show, pay your hard-earned money, and then see someone being afraid or safe. So I promise to offend almost everyone. I mean, I'm really going to do my best to offend every person in that chair. And I think that's what comedy should be about, especially in Vegas. That's really where you go to hear the most inappropriate things and do the most shameful things. And comedy should be about blowing off steam. I mean, we got enough to worry about. We should at least take a couple-hour break where we can laugh at ourselves and everybody else.
And it's such a good time. And we want to remind everyone, next Saturday at the Mirage Hotel Las Vegas, August 9th, you'll be performing. Everyone get out there. You will not regret it. It is hysterical. Kathy Griffin, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks, you guys. I really, really appreciate it, and I will talk to you soon.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And if you can't see her live, remember, they're taping for the DVD.
That's right.
Yep.
Thank you so much once again.